sounds like a staff relationship in a battalion or in the military. For instance, the operations officer is a major, and I am also a major as the chaplain. I am responsible for the operations order for going on a mission to provide him with the chaplain's plan for religious support during the operation. But he's not hierarchically superior to me. Is that the kind of thing that you're
right? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Now we have to think very clearly. If we get involved in the actual fighting, would his orders with regard to operations supersede?
Well, if he disagreed with my plan, he could say, Chaplain, I want you to go and revise your plan. And then if I said, well, no, I think you're full of beans, I'm not going to revise my plan, then we would either hash it out, or if we were unable to hash it out, we would take it to a higher authority.
Okay.
You know, and maybe the battalion commander decide between us.
But let me ask you this. Let's say you're going out to war and it's not a very good day in the field. The battalion commander gets killed, the other major gets killed. The only guy left out there that's major is you. You assume command of the troops operation?
Probably not as chaplain, but certainly the S3, so certainly the operations officer. He would assume.
But he would be lower.
He could very well be lower.
Okay. But you would be, okay, that's very important. Are you hierarchically higher to that person with respect to field fighting? Or is he hierarchically higher than you?
Hierarchically, I don't think I am, but functionally, he takes control of the mission, and I answer. Does that make sense?
It does. It does make sense. We'll come back to it because I think it's very interesting. I want to say that this notion of accountability connects to these ideas of being with and being alongside of. For X to be accountable to Y with respect to S, okay. Ready for this? Demands, okay, nothing more than X and Y being with each other.
Yeah.
Whoa. X and Y are with each other. This is a spiritual connection that can escape, at least abstractly considered, conceptually, the field of hierarchy.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
It does.
Battle buddies in the foxhole.
Are you in? Okay, I thought you were going to say. Okay, for X to be hierarchically higher than Y with respect to S, however, that demands that X and Y have the abstract relationship of being alongside. Now, this is a point that yeah. What I'm going to try to say here is that hierarchy demands a particular abstraction that plays in the field of the I-it. Hierarchy demands a particular abstraction that plays within the field of the I-it, whereas accountability is possible in the field of the I-thou.
That's exactly.
What's I thou?
I-thou, it's the
No, I mean, I know what I thou.
okay. The
I thou goes with what?
the spiritual reality being with accountability. Accountability. So let's take marriage, for instance. Hopefully, marriage partners are mutually accountable and considered very narrowly as a spiritual relationship, which it sometimes is. Under the conditions of existence, everything is dark and ambiguous, of course. But we can consider a marriage relationship being a spiritual relationship of mutual being with, where there is mutual accountability, and we can conceive that without hierarchy. Now, hierarchy, when we come to draw up the papers and we fill out everything, law determines how property will be, I know this, how property will be distributed in case of divorce, who owns what the legal relationships are between the two. And of course, we can define legal hierarchy, all right, and we can get it all down, and we miss what marriage was all about, right? Even though we've looked at it as, from the standpoint of the legal, the abstraction, we've looked at it, and we know what it is. Lawyers know what it is. They know how to distribute. They know what to do with children when people get divorced, and they know how to treat this joint tenancy with rights in common, right? Joint tenancy in common, and all of these things. Now, if I can let you sit on that for a moment, we're going to get to the point. When we talk about church, right, and we talk about foraging a fellowship, or we talk about a communal fellowship, or we talk about going after foraging for a fellowship, right? We have to understand this connection of what church is. And the problem, of course, in the ELCA, and for a lot of people with idealistic eyes who underestimate the powers of darkness, is they try to build a structure that cannot be sustained under the conditions of existence. It's called a utopia. It's an idealism, where we start to think that a spiritual reality can be engineered. Now, here's the next point, very important point. You can't engineer the Spirit. The Spirit blows where it may. Being with relationships are relationships of grace and not law.
Yeah, so it's a confusion of law and gospel.
It's a confusion of law and gospel.
And also confusion by extension of the two kingdoms. And it's always when we believe that we can engineer the kingdom on the right, it always ends in tyranny of some form.
But it isn't just in the church. I used to be a manager of software engineers, which many said was much like herding cats. You cannot hierarchically inspire a software engineer to do a good job. You have to win them over so spiritually. You've got to get them enthusiastic about what we're going to do, challenge them. That, they say this can't be done, but I bet you can do it. And you turn them on in a spiritual way, which has nothing to do with religion.
And here's an interesting thought, because one could be a kind of person that would take what we say and say, well, you were good at manipulation. I'm sick. You were good at manipulation, and it was very effective to engineer the Spirit. But I would be much more beneficent here, and I would say, no, what you did was you awakened with them their own possibilities of Spirit. So the Spirit was present. You get a bunch of software engineers together. They want to do stuff. And all you have to do is make it so that they can connect.
Well, now you get at
remove the impediments.
What does a teacher do? They inspire somebody. I remember when I was in junior high, I had a math teacher who was